Hello, my name is Nancy Tigress, and welcome to Things That I Dislike About This RV. First thing, make sure to add these little foamies. Well, these were small, but I usually have something to protect both sides because I've knocked my head so many times. Some people have told me that they put something hanging down so that they would just know. And why? It doesn't have to go all the way there, but why isn't it farther? So the entertainment center is completely not under, which makes it very hard to see the television when it's sunny. And I have struggled. I've added blankets and tents and all that jazz, and just very complicated. And then I was cooking one time and my son was playing. So I moved the TV. Thankfully, I have a glider, but I was still like kind of moving out of the way, and I still find this spot pretty cool. But yeah, there's some things that is. Now, to talk about this section here, this is a really good big storage. There's a lot of space. But why do they make it that the door is so much smaller? So I have storage bins that fits there. The only thing is that I now have to fit it through the bed inside. Very complicated. Don't worry, you're going to see what I mean in a minute. I have a shower right there. It's in the back. I mean, cool, but why in the back? That's not somewhere I go a lot. So I have here a storage that goes all the way through, but do you see that? No light. But then when I go on the other side, I have this really amazing light that is like a movement light. So every time I open the door, it just opens up. That's amazing. Except, why don't I have one on the other side? Anyways, so I'm just going to open to see, like, you can see it's really like all the way through. So that's amazing, at least. Then here, why the heck did they put this downwards? This thing has fallen on my head. Every time we travel, it falls. First thing I see when I open the door is the bed on the sofa. Then we have two things on each side, closet things. Always useful to have closets, but then I put shoes at the bottom, so every time I want to go get stuff, I feel like I'm leaning over the sofa or over the things. I found another one that had drawers instead of being opened, which depends what you like better. Then here, the door. This just fell off. It was pretty heavy. It is pretty heavy. So we're actually going to put it back now. The kitchen. Oh my gosh, do I have a lot to say about the kitchen. Why did they not block this section? I have stuff falling there. By the way, I found stuff from the previous owner there. So that tells you a lot. So why is there this huge thing? So now I always have to look to make sure I didn't lose anything. And now I'm like, oh, what's that? Guess I'm about to find out. And this is the only space. Like, look at this. I have this space, which they could have actually put more space down there. Because if you look under, which I'm going to show you later, there's actually more room on the top. They could have done like a drawer on the top, and they could have done a little lower on that side one. So I'm about to show, yeah, like half, I'm showing you my hand that goes, because there is the sink, of course. And then here, look at that. Look at all this space. They literally could have put like a bigger drawer because this is the only thing I have for a kitchen. More wasted useful space. So I could put baskets, but anyways, this is something that the previous owners added, which I thought, why wasn't it already there? When I was looking at the other ones, I'm like, huh, I would do something like that. And then when I saw this one, I'm like, oh, amazing. The AC. Oh boy, this is my options. It's on or off. That's it. I have low and high. I do decide the temperature with the little other button that you saw previously, but there's no way of me knowing the temperature for real. Washroom. Why don't they put little bars to make everything stop from falling? I don't get it. So every time you travel, you have to take it off. And like also look at that, the angle. What am I supposed to put in these little spots there with the angles? So this thing I would usually have on the wall with like a little plate, but anyways, I'm probably going to do that. When I step here, it just feels like something's in the middle, and on this side, it's like going in, caving in, and it's making a sound. I didn't keep it, but it's making a sound. It's kind of weird. But then there's also like the size of the washroom. I don't know if you see it. It's like pretty small. So I'm wondering why, like, okay, the space in here. I get it. Maybe there's something under, as we saw with the kitchen sink. I mean, but why didn't they put it differently? Like maybe a corner one or, but also why didn't they add cabinets there and maybe even there? Like I feel like the design should have been done a little different for more space. Then this is a HDMI that was coming out through this wall that has absolutely no entry. I figured it out. It's actually the radio. You have to I mean, my dad did. But I was like, how am I supposed to change this wire? Now, to access under the bunk or under the bed, why didn't they put a trap door there? So I have to lift everything up and then take one of these wood panels off to be able to access the storage under, which, by the way, I can have access from outside. But because of the huge amount of space and me wanting to put storage, yes. And then I'm showing here that there is absolutely no plug. So I have an extension here that I'm using for the bed. And because you see there's one there and I put like a thing, an adapter. And then there's one here. So I put an extension so that it reaches the bed and other things. Then I have this one. Oh my gosh, this one. Anything I plug just hangs there all the way to the table. And then watch this right here. I have a little tiny counter. So if I want to plug my toaster, I literally have, or anything like my blender, I have just this tiny little spot here or there. And I can't, or so this is what happens. And as you see, this is, yeah, not the best. And then I can't actually reach the oven. It doesn't reach. My cord is super small, so it doesn't make sense. Yeah, no sments at all. That's it. Stick around. More coming soon, and I'm super excited about the other video. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna leave that there. That's hilarious. I can't talk. Clearly, my narcolepsy is hitting me. Make sure to subscribe, like, and more coming.